students. So now we will study the second major group in the gastrointestinal agents, that is antacids. So in that some of the important examples are the magnesium carbonate, sodium bicarbonate and also the aluminum hydroxide gel. Okay, so not only this, few more are there. With that, the combination of the antacid preparation also very important. Okay, so then what are antacids? Okay, so these are the gastrointestinal agents, or these are the drugs which are usually neutralizes the excess amount of the acid which is secreted in the stomach of the patient who are suffering from the hyperacidity, nothing but hyperchlorhydria. Okay, so these drugs are usually alkaline substances only. So here what are antacids? These are the agents which are usually alkaline substance and used for neutralizing the excess acid in the stomach of patients who are suffering from the hyperchlorhydria, nothing but hyperacidity. Okay, and these drugs gives the relief of the pain due to the hyperchlorhydria. Due to the inflammation of the gastric mucosa as in the gastritis, there results the hypersecretion of the hydrochloric acid. Okay, so which is known as the hyperchlorhydria. Due to the inflammation of the gastric mucosa, what will happen? The hypersecretion of that hydrochloric acid will be takes place. So this condition we will consider as an hyperchlorhydria. Okay, so sometimes in this condition leads to the peptic ulcer, severe secretion of that hydrochloric acid. What will happen? The rupture of that mucosa may takes place. Okay, so disturbing that mucosal structure, so which leads to the peptic ulcer. Depending upon the portion where the erosion of the mucosal layer result. Okay, so here the rupture of that or erosion of the mucosal layer will take place. It is known as the esophageal ulcer and the gastric ulcer, duodenal ulcer and etc. So nothing but here the at particular portion where the ulcer formation will be there. So like that will be divided into the esophageal ulcer, the gastric ulcer and also the duodenal ulcer. Okay, so inavailability of these, there is an intense and also continuous pain in the alternative condition may take place. Okay, and treatment includes the eating the certain types of the food, use of antacids and also the anticholinergic drugs and also most bed rest will be preferred for them. Okay, so the hyperchlorhydria is treated with the antacids. So antacids have the alkaline bases and they neutralizes the excess amount of secreted acid. Since the gastric hydrochloric acid production is a continual process, the administration of antacid is also required frequently. Okay, so to neutralize the continuous secretion of the hydrochloric acid. Okay, the use of the strong alkaline bases, nothing but here we can't use those things be considered as an antacids as they will have damaging effect on the mucosal layer. So since the antacid therapy is usually of the longer duration, the drugs should not have any side effect. Okay, so prolonged administration of those antacids will be there to neutralize the continuous secretion of the hydrochloric acid. But if you consider the strong alkali bases only as antacids, then the itself damages the mucosal layer. So then what is the use of those strong alkali bases? To avoid those things, we should use the selected antacids. Okay, so since the antacid therapy is usually a longer duration, the drug should not have any side effects. Since here the antacid act on the gastrointestinal tract, they exert their effect after being converted into the soluble salts by the hydrochloric acid. Okay, so the cations like calcium and also the aluminium having the what is that? The constipating effect. Okay, so whereas magnesium have the laxative effect. Okay, so constipating effect nothing but difficulty to pass the stool. So laxative means the water like diarrhea like effect may show. Okay, so easy excretion of the stool, hard stool will be takes place with the help of laxative. For this reason, calcium, magnesium, even that aluminium magnesium salt combinations are commonly marketed because of these. What is that? The constipating effect and also the laxative effect of these cations. Okay, so one of the important antacid is the aluminium hydroxide gel. It is an aqueous white viscous suspension of the hydrolyzed aluminium hydroxide. Okay, having a variety amount of the basic aluminium carbonate. So this is nothing but the aluminium hydroxide gel. Okay, so here the preparation may be sometimes having the methyl oil or the peppermint oil. The glycerin, sucrose and also saccharin etc. may also used for the preparation purpose as following, and also the sweetening agent sodium benzoate as a preservative. The preparation of the main procedure for this preparation is it is prepared by adding a hot solution of the potash alum slowly with the constant stirring. Okay, to a hot solution of the sodium carbonate. Okay, so here this potash alum will be there. So the hot solution of sodium potash alum will be slowly added to that hot solution of the sodium carbonate with the constant stirring. After complete removal of the carbon dioxide, the precipitated aluminium hydroxide. So here AlOH thrice precipitated aluminium hydroxide is filtered. So it is washed thoroughly with the hot water until it becomes free from whatever the free sulfate ions will be there. The precipitate is suspended in the distilled water to the required strength. Okay, so here what will happen, the hot solution of this potash alum will be passed through this hot solution of the sodium carbonate where the reaction will be takes place, and finally the release of the aluminium hydroxide will be takes place in the form of the precipitation. Okay, so that will be get filtered and it will be washed thorough with that of the hot water until it become free from the sulfate ion, and precipitate is suspended in the distilled water to the required strength. Okay, so here 3 molecule of sodium carbonate react with the 2 molecules of the potassium ion. So Na2CO3 react with the KAI and SO4 twice. Okay, so in the presence of the 3 molecule of water where the reaction takes place, and finally 2 molecules of the aluminium hydroxide AlOH thrice will be liberated with sodium sulfate and potassium sulfate with 3 molecule of the CO2 carbon dioxide. Okay, so in this preparation the main precaution to be kept in the is mainly that the alum solution is added to the solution of sodium carbonate and not vice versa. Okay, because that would yield a precipitate having the alkaline sulfate which would be difficult to wash. Okay, so always the hot solution of the potash alum should be added to the hot solution of sodium carbonate. Okay, but we should not add the sodium carbonate hot solution to that of the hot solution of the potash alum, otherwise the sulfate alkali formation will be there, and that is also in the precipitate form. Once it will be produced with that of the aluminum hydroxide, then it will be difficult to wash that alkali sulfate. Okay, then the important property of this aluminum hydroxide gel is it is a white viscous suspension. Okay, so viscosity will be more. Suspension, a clear liquid gets separated when it is kept standing for the some time. So that's what always for the suspension it will be auxiliary label like a shake well before use. Okay, whatever the suspending particles will be there, so those will get settled, sedimentation will be take place. So separate the clear liquid you will get when you will keep it aside for some time. Okay, so that's what you should shake the container before using the suspension. Okay, so mainly the aluminum hydroxide will be used as an aluminum hydroxide gel will be used as an antacid. Okay, so another important thing is that is sodium bicarbonate, NaHCO3. So here which is also called as generally baking soda, sodium bicarbonate. So molecular weight of this is 84.01. How the sodium bicarbonate will be prepared? Okay, on a small scale it is prepared by passing the carbon dioxide gas through a solution of sodium hydroxide. Okay, the solution is concentrated to get the product. So here on the industrial scale what they will do, okay, in a small scale they will pass the carbon dioxide gas through the sodium hydroxide. The solution is then concentrated to get the sodium bicarbonate product. Okay, so here two molecule of NaOH plus CO2 gives the Na2CO3 in the presence of water molecule, where this sodium carbonate in the presence reacts with the water molecule and also the carbon dioxide, where the two molecules of NaHCO3 sodium bicarbonate liberation will be there. Okay, so in the industrial side what they will do in a large amount or the large scale industries, so it is obtained by solving the process. Okay, that is nothing but here the solve a process. So brine solution nothing but here brine solution nothing but sodium chloride. So sodium chloride is saturated with ammonia to remove the traces of impurities like magnesium and also the ferrous. The solution is now filtered and finally passed through that of the carbonating tower. So in this it is allowed to come in contact with the current of carbon dioxide, and the tower is cooled to enhance the precipitation. The precipitate is finally filtered out and dried. So in this condition how the reaction will take place means water will get react with the carbon dioxide into CO3 formation. Okay, and this react with ammonia, finally ammonium bicarbonate will be there. This reacts with the brine solution like a sodium chloride, and finally ammonium bicarbonate react with sodium chloride. Finally sodium bicarbonate with ammonium chloride release will be there. So liberation of the sodium bicarbonate will be takes place. So this is the procedure for the preparation of the sodium bicarbonate in industrial scale. Okay, so actually it is in a white crystalline powder or amorphous powder. Okay, it is having the saline. Okay, saline in taste, and it is freely soluble in the water but practically insoluble in alcohol. Okay, so action and uses of this sodium bicarbonate is in medicine. It is mainly used for its acid neutralizing property. It finds use as an antacid and also to combat with the systemic acidosis. Okay, so it is also used for preparing the buffer solution. It's calcium carbonate. So chemical formula for this is CaCO3. Molecular weight for the calcium carbonate 100.09. Okay, so this is also called as precipitated chalk. So you can consider synonym of the calcium carbonate is precipitated chalk. So in nature it is found as chalk or marble, and even the limestone are one of the main constituent of the corals, pearls and also shells. So that is nothing but calcium carbonate. Then the procedure for the preparation. On commercial scale, the calcium carbonate is obtained by mixing the boiling solution of the calcium chloride and also sodium carbonate and allowing the resulting precipitate to the settle down. So here what will happen? The calcium chloride, so CaCl2 reacts with the Na2CO3. Finally CaCO3 will be precipitated as it is. Okay, the precipitate is collected on the colico filter and also washed with boiling water until it becomes free from the chloride, because sodium chloride will also get liberated in the reaction. Okay, so you have to wash this with the boiling water. So because of this it will become free from the chloride ion. Finally the precipitate is dry. So this is the procedure for the preparation of the calcium carbonate. So calcium chloride react with the sodium carbonate, calcium carbonate will be get liberated as a precipitation. Okay, so generally it is a fine white microcrystalline powder and it is odorless and also tasteless, but it will be stable in air. The most almost it is insoluble in water and alcohol. Okay, and this calcium carbonate will be used internally as a antacid. Okay, so the precipitated chalk finds use externally as a dentifrice. Okay, so even it will be used as a dental product. Okay, and because it is having the mild abrasive quality, because of this property this calcium carbonate, nothing but precipitated chalk will be used as a external component as a dentifrice. Okay, and it is also used internally, as you know, as an antacid. Okay, and last component that will be aluminium phosphate. So here you can prepare this. It is usually prepared by interaction between the aqueous solution of the aluminium salt. So aluminium salt is nothing but here you can consider aluminium chloride and also the alkali phosphate like a sodium phosphate. So aluminium chloride react with the sodium phosphate. The soluble salt formed can be removed by washing and decantation with water, or better by dialysis through the suitable membrane. Okay, so the product is dried under the suitable conditions. So like this you can prepare the aluminium phosphate.